Hey guys, how's it going? So, some of you know I switched over to a new broker. I switched from Lightspeed to Tradestation. So, Tradestation is another broker. Let me pull up their website real quick. That way, you know who I'm referring to. Okay, let me come on this side. All right, so this is Tradestation, right? They're free brokers, no commissions. That's why I switched over to from Lightspeed. So if you go to Lightspeed, this is their website, and they obviously charge for commissions. And in this video, I want to give you more information about why I switched to TradeStation, and all the reasons I give you, they're my own reasons of why I switched over, and these reasons may not pertain to you, right? So Lightspeed, right? Lightspeed is a very good broker. They have very good executions, and yeah, they're very quick. They have a very simple software that's easy to understand to get you started, right? But their charting is not the best. Um, Definitely not the best. So with that in mind, right, their commissions are very expensive. They can range anywhere from like 250 per share plus 0.003 ish cents per share on ECN fees as well. So on average, you can be paying around like $5 per commission on, if you're trading like 1,000 share block. Um, so that obviously adds up, right? So now if we talk about TradeStation, they're free commissions, right? No commissions whatsoever. And I want to show you the comparisons. So this is TradeStation, and this is like the main part of the software that I stay in. So what they're really about is workspaces. Every tab is a workspace where you can have different things, right? You might have chart on this one and have all your level 2 and your trades over here, and something else over here, something else over here. So every tab is a workspace. So now I want to give you the pros and cons. First, the cons. I feel like um, the boot up time for TradeStation is a lot longer than Lightspeed. If TradeStation takes about, let's say, 40 seconds to a minute, Lightspeed will take about maybe like 10 seconds to 15 seconds. I mean, even though if it's a minute with TradeStation, I don't mind, but I'm just telling you the comparison on boot up time. So that's that, right? So the second thing that is a con is sometimes I don't know which one's the active window, or when I click on a window, right? Because I have to be active on the window to make a trade on that stock, right? So if I click right here, you see I clicked it, but it's not active right now, right? So what I got to do sometimes is click on another window and then come back, and then this becomes active. So now if I click here, this is active. If I click here, this is active. If I click here, this is active. Same thing. But usually this will happen if I actually, switch out from another application and then come back to this. It won't click it. So I have to like click out of it and come back to it. So this only happens if I come out of TradeStation and go to a different application. So that's number two. The next one is number three is, some people might think that just because it's a free broker, you're not going to get fills. That's not true, right? In my case, if I usually take about 20 trades a day, right? What I'm experiencing every day, I get one trade that I don't get filled on. Okay. That is actually not a con, right? Or it might not be a pro as well, because this also happens with Lightspeed as well. So, once in a while you might not get a fill, and that's okay for me, but I still put that as a con, right? So, and the next part is, or the next con is, right? Number 4, charting. I don't think it's the best. I don't use their charting. I use eSignal, right? So this is their charting, right? I don't know if it's the best. For some people, it might be, but I don't really use it. But the reason why I put it as a con is because I can't really use, if I'm zoomed out here, I can't use my scroll bar on my mouse to, zoom in and out, right? Or move, right? So first I gotta click here to zoom in, and then draw the box where I want to zoom in, and then I can move my scroll bar on my mouse to go left and right. Ideally, I want to use my scroll bar to zoom in, but maybe this is something we can probably change in the settings. But for right now, for me, it's a con, right? The next big thing is, this is a huge software, right? It's pretty big. That's why it boots up pretty slow. Where Lightspeed is pretty simple, you can get used to it pretty fast. So these are the cons, right? One, boots up slow. Two, the active windows, sometimes they don't become active if you are coming from, let's say, a different window or different software, right? It won't become active. Number three, so far I see one trade not getting filled every day, right? And one to me is whatever. That happens with Lightspeed too. Number four, charting is not the best. In my case, I use eSignal, so maybe I'm used to that. But then again, because of the whole, the zoom in mentality, like for me, it's a con. Number five, it's a big software, right? That's why, it boots up slow and other things that come with it that I don't need, right? So yeah, now let's talk about the pros. The biggest pro why I switched to this is because of no commissions. Okay. Now, for me, commissions was making a difference. Last month and the month before, I was red because of commissions with Lightspeed. If I didn't have commissions with Lightspeed, I actually would be up, $600-700, the month prior to that and last month, right? I was red because of commissions. So at that point, I had to make a decision, right? So now I switched over to Tradestation and I have no commissions whatsoever. Look, zero commissions, zero, zero, zero. I mean, look how many trades I took. I mean, this much trades in Lightspeed would have costed me $150, and that's a lot for someone that's, new and, is trying to make some money out of this. It can get tough, right? Now, that's great, no commissions. Now, the next thing is, number two, on the pros, they're also a direct access broker. What does that mean? That means I can send my orders directly to a ECN route, right? Like I can send my orders directly to NASDAQ versus using their own intelligent route, right? So I also have access to that. Obviously, for that part, there's fee, but if I don't use a direct route, there's no fees. But at least I have that feature available to me if I need it. So next on the list, number three is, even this being a free commission broker, I have very fast execution, right? Now earlier I mentioned I get one trade that I don't get fills on every day. Now, is that really worth it from, switching back to Lightspeed and being red for 2 months because of commissions? No, I don't think so. At least not in my case. So I'd rather have one trade that I don't get filled on and I don't take any profits or losses on versus, switching back to Lightspeed and, having to pay commissions. Don't get me wrong, Lightspeed is great. But at least for my strategy, Tradestation so far is working out for me. Okay. The next thing is, this is also developer friendly for people who code, right? You can write your own, tools to talk to the API and make your own custom tools. So that's that. And here, these are like the cons that I, posted and the pros, right? So now let me just show you around a bit more. So over here, this is a market depth window, right? So this is where you have your level 2 and some information about about the stock, right? This is this part is actually called the quote bar, right? And this is like a detail panel. This whole thing is called a market depth, right? As you see over here. And over here we have the time and sales. And obviously these two features are normal in any day trading software, right? So I can connect this window with this window by the color, right? And I have, I have it set by colors over here. So pretty much all the orders that are coming from EdgeX that are at this bid, and at this price, pretty much the bid right now, I want a green, right? And I have it grouped by ECN. So right now there's one ARCA order, one NASDAQ order at $1.40, right? But in this case, EdgeX, there's 5 orders on EdgeX, right, at $139, right? With the biggest size here first. So I have it grouped by ECN. For me, that's easier to read on my eyes. So that's why I like that. And of course, you can change it, to whatever you want. So I definitely like that, and I carried that over from Lightspeed. So I'm glad I was able to do that here. So anytime you're switching brokers or switching platform, you want to make sure you get it comfortable, close to whatever you can from where you came with or where you came from. And let's see what else we have here. And I put all my orders down here where, it tells me the quantity filled and the filled price and the status of the order, right? So I use their intelligent route. So that's that. I also have hotkeys that are enabled. Again, Lightspeed has that as well. So I also not ported, but set up new hotkeys here, where I can do anything with the application, right? Or macros for the for my orders, right? Like buying 1,000 at the bid, whatever the case is, right? So yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of things here that we can use from previous broker that I came from. I want to see this hotkey. Shift C is to cancel. Okay, for some reason I kept on pressing Shift S. That makes sense why it didn't work. Okay, so yeah, I mean, as a day trader, what do you really need? You need to have good executions and make sure you have some hotkeys that you're able to create, and also you have good speed on level 2. And for me, it works out fine. So yeah, these are my thoughts on Tradestation, and I think if you also need to try it out, I think you should. Is it really worth paying commissions for one trade that I don't get filled on every day? No, right? So even if you're paying commissions, $50 for commissions every day, that comes out to $1,000 a month. $50 a day for 20 days in trading in a month, right? That's $1,000 a month. Is it really worth it? That's what you got to answer for yourself. So think about it. For me, it's not worth it. For me, it's better to have Tradestation. For me, it's working out so far, but I'll keep you guys updated. But so far, everything has been good. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what platform you guys are using, and I'll try to answer any questions you guys have in the comments. Other than that, I will see you guys next time.